Mario Lopez.
You're on Mario Courtney Lopez. We're talking true crime with one of my favorite lawyers, Alison Triessl. So the story everyone's talking about is Brian Laundrie. What do we know? What do we think? What happened?
Okay, well, thank goodness Dog the bounty hunter is now on the case. Okay, so that's good. And he swears that he knows exactly where Brian Laundrie is and that it's only a matter of time before he closes in and he gets him. Okay, but here's what actually law enforcement and real people know. Okay. Gabby was found dead. And at the time that she is found dead, Brian Laundrie is at his parents' home. Okay. And he has refused to cooperate with authorities. He is not speaking to anybody, neither of his parents. They don't help in finding her. And on September 17th, his parents call law enforcement and say, our son has gone missing. And he went camping and we're worried about him. We think that he may harm himself. Okay. So now there has been this extensive manhunt looking for Brian Laundrie. And the question is, did he kill himself? Is he in fact in hiding somewhere in this vast area? Or has he fled the country? And what role, if any, have his parents played in evading his capture?
What do you think? What does your instinct, years as an attorney, tell you? What are the odds?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to talk to you as an attorney, and then I'm going to talk to you as a mom. Okay. So as an attorney, is it possible that he, would I argue that he probably has killed himself? I think that's probably what happens in a scenario like this. If in fact he freaks out, they were fighting, he kills her. He didn't mean to kill her, but they had been fighting continuously and he cannot take it. And he knows that he's going to be charged. It is very likely that he kills himself. Okay. Now, as a parent, I ask myself, what would I do if one of my 3 boys did something like this? What lengths would I go to? Would I cover it up? Would I turn on him? And if he confesses to me, would I tell law enforcement? By the way, they do not have a duty. They do not have a duty to turn their son in. They cannot help them escape. They cannot cover up the crime. Those are real crimes, and especially in Florida. But simply a hunch that he did this, they don't have to turn him in. Vanessa, you're a mom, right? I told your husband, look, my son's applying to college. I'm not putting him on a rowing machine to get him in. Okay. I'm not taking pictures and because that's a crime and I won't do that. Yeah. It's my kid. I mean, I'm going to turn him over to the police for him to spend the rest of his life in prison. I don't think so.
What if the kid actually admits it to you? Do you have a responsibility then?
That's a good question.
Like a legal responsibility. If the kid says, I did do this.
I would say you weren't in your right frame of mind, son. We are not going down that road.
I would say, no. Here's the thing. There are certain privileges. There's certainly the spousal privilege. Okay. I'm not sure that really applies to parents. But again, I'm talking as a mom and not an attorney. When does it cross over to where they have done something to aid, to assist, to conceal their son who it has admitted to committing this crime? And if they did any of those things, if they cleaned the car or the van for fingerprints, if they provided him with money for his escape, when he left, there was no arrest warrant for him. Since then, the federal government has issued a federal arrest warrant, but it is not in relation to Gabby's body. It is for unauthorized use of debit cards. They haven't said that it was her cards, but the time is the end of August to the beginning of September. He charged $1,000 on credit cards, which I think it's a very fair assumption to say they were Gabby's credit cards.
Do you think that's just an excuse to try and get him into custody?
Oh, I know
Not
it
that
is.
he didn't do that, but you know,
No, absolutely. They see when you're a person of interest, and that word is thrown out a lot, but it actually is legally significant because when you are a suspect in a case, there's a panoply of constitutional rights that you are entitled to. Okay, so right to remain silent, the right to get a lawyer. You are the suspect in this case. But when they're saying, when law enforcement saying, oh, he's a person of interest, we just want to talk to him, right? Well, I don't really know if those constitutional rights, you're entitled to them at that stage if you're just a person of interest.
Ooh.
So I think that now that they've executed an arrest warrant, they can arrest him and bring him in, no question.
well, they confiscate his parents' phones and go through all of the texts and do all of that.
Yeah.
If they get a warrant, they can take all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. And even then, a judge, and I'm throwing in a lot of law here, I apologize, but a judge has to have probable cause
Right.
to
To
believe
yeah.
that either there has been a crime or someone's trying to cover up a crime. So there is sort of a layer of protection by getting a warrant.
I have two questions. One, is it typical when you're in a situation that's a high profile case and someone's missing and you might be a suspect that you randomly go camping? Is that typical? And two, is there a chance he was using the credit cards to make it look like she was still alive and like using them somewhere?
Well,
That's
he
what
said
I
it-
think
he
you
said-
should.
Well, wait a minute. Her mother very much believes that the last text messages that she got that basically say no cell service in Yosemite were from him.
Yeah.
So that's very possible. Or he needed some money and he had her card and her PIN. I mean, that's very, very possible.
Wow.
Do you go camping? Well, I mean, you don't go camping.
Typically have more on your mind than
But you also, and Mario, you and I have talked about this. It's also fairly suspicious that you go on a camping trip, party of two, and you come back as one person.
And
Right.
talking about where's your girl? What? I don't know.
What? I don't
Where's
know.
Vanessa?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Great question.
You know, I would love to pick your brain on another day about the Scott Peterson case because
Oh, I have so
read
much.
books. I did.
Yeah, we gotta come back to that.
Okay,
one.
we're gonna have
we'll
to come back to
but
that.
That's another day.
This one's fascinating. Thank you so much for hanging out, Triessl.
My pleasure.
On with Mario Lopez.